Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. We made it to Friday. We made it through Veterans Day yesterday and Dr. Phil Day. Today's Dr. Phil Day again. That was great. Let's see who is in here. Did anybody go to any parades or anything or go out to eat? I know they were doing tons of stuff around here for veterans. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Pink Butterfly. Dara Lee. Hello, Dodging Bullets. Nurse Ratchet. That one Ginger. Good morning, Cato, and thank you for the super sticker. Holly B. watching the new Dr. Phil trailer. OMG. Welcome back, Katie Bird. We missed you. Outlaw Trucker, good morning. Hopefully I got everybody. Hi, Betty. I know I saw What Big Eyes in here earlier. There she is. Good morning. Nubian Max, good morning. So I think I got, if I missed somebody, I'm sorry. Hello, Deb. I already told you hello, Nurse Ratchet. Hey, Kate. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Casey. Hey, Casey, did you get the Discord link? I can't remember if it went through or not. There's Christy. Hey. You guys were busy in here chatting before I even turned on my computer. So, yep, we have another Dr. Phil this afternoon. I don't know. I just loved it yesterday. By the way, if anybody in here is affiliated with the Cornbread Mafia, please send me a message. We'll send you a free t-shirt. Let's see what Kevin's doing. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Brooks. Good morning, everyone. How is everybody? Great, I hope.
Yeah.
Just sitting here deciphering the Dr. Phil saga.
Well, did you do anything yesterday for Veterans Day?
No, ma'am. I stayed home. It was windy. Like we had 50-mile-an-hour winds, rain, and it was cold. But I did take a walk down to the store, and I had an umbrella with me because it was raining. But the rain was like going sideways. It was so windy. You had to, and I have one of those big golf umbrellas because I can't stand getting wet. I hate that, my clothes. And that wind about tore the damn umbrella out of my hands.
You're kidding me. Yeah, I don't dig winter at all. I mean, I know I've said it a million times, but I can't stand it.
Nope. I hate it. I'd rather have 100 degrees.
Especially with the time change, it's just depressing. Once Christmas is over, which I don't care. I mean, I'd rather be on a beach with, for Christmas. But anyway.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather be where I go every year in Fort Myers. That's where I'd like to be.
Dara Lee wants to know if you caught your squirrel.
No, not yet. In fact, I didn't even get to put the trap up yesterday because it was so windy and raining that because my luck, I would have fell off the damn roof.
I was flipping through channels last night, and that movie, it's an old movie with Robert Redford called The Horse Whisperer.
Yeah.
I started dying laughing. I was like, Kevin's the Squirrel Whisperer.
Oh, my God. I think God just sent me humor because all of a sudden I have all these squirrel issues. I'm seeing more squirrels. I see them having sex. I mean, my whole life is about squirrels right now. And chipmunks. I have a damn chipmunk that keeps tearing shit up. I don't know. I'm going to start. I've already live trapped. I don't mind black squirrels, gray squirrels, or fox squirrels. But you don't want red squirrels because a black squirrel, a gray squirrel, or a fox, they won't get into your house wall or whatever and make nests. Now, red squirrels will. And another thing a lot of people don't know, and you can look it up, this is God's truth. a red squirrel will castrate a fox squirrel.
What?
Literally. Yeah, literally. And they're just bad news. But I caught, let's see. I'm see, my next door neighbor is some wildlife, I don't know, whatever you want to call her, but she rescued some baby squirrels and raised them and turned them loose, and they were red squirrels. Well, over the summer, I trapped 5 of them and moved them out, took them out like, I don't know, it's like 5 miles from my house and let them go. But you don't want them. They're terrible.
No. I mean, and they've been giving you quite the headache.
Yeah, and you can't even eat a red squirrel. It's too damn small. So they're no good to me. So I just catch them, take them out. But I wish she would quit raising the frickin' squirrels. You know what I mean? My neighbor. It's like she raises them, turns them loose, and then they cause destruction.
Well, maybe since they cut down that tree a few months ago, that's the reason they're raising havoc in your yard.
Maybe it is. That tree, yeah, that the tornado knocked down. I'm sure there was a squirrel nest up in there. But anyway, if the squirrels don't chill out, I'm going to chill out, all right, with my 22 out in the backyard. But anyway, I try to trap them and be humane and just let them loose in the forest. Hello? Oh, guess what? We lost Brooks. Wow. I don't know what the deal is, but I think Brooks needs instead of a desktop, she needs a Mac computer that can keep up with everything. Because, you figure how many people are in the computer's got to keep up with everything. So, but anyway, I hope everybody, there you are.
Yeah, StreamYard kicked me out. So I had to get out of my browser altogether and get back in. So ridiculous.
I was telling everybody, Brooks needs a Mac computer.
I know. I haven't used a Mac computer in so long. I don't even.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, that's, if you want to buy a good computer that can do anything, those Macs they're very good computers.
Yeah, I don't think it'd take me too long to get familiar with it. So what Big Eyes wants to say hi to us? Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, and good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Squirrel Day, Kevin.
Yes, it is. I just seen the black squirrel. He just took off. Oh, well. My life is squirrels right now, so.
I know. I told you're the squirrel whisperer.
I guess so.
Looks like everybody's getting settled in. So anyway, we talked about the Dr. Phil show yesterday. We streamed it on here and talked about it. Of course, I've watched it several more times since then and picked up on some other stuff. I'm still saying that Dr. Phil, I mean, he's just calling BS. I mean, he does not believe a word she is saying. He keeps saying over and over. He kept saying, like, he even looked confused at one point. He goes, this isn't adding up. He goes, the only reason I'm doing this is to find this little girl, whether she has been kidnapped, which that was a new word. Don's never said kidnapped before. That was a new one. He's always said abducted. Or she's dead. He's like, we want to know what's going on. But he wasn't buying anything Candace was saying, and he was calling her out left and right. Now, some people are saying that in today's episode, he says he doesn't think they did anything to them. And I can't wait to see it because I want to get the context. Is he saying that to them so they'll talk to him? Or is he really going through everything going, oh, yeah, there's no way they could have done it? Because if that's the truth, I'm assuming that he's got some brain issues. What do you think, Big Eyes?
Yeah, I haven't seen that preview. I heard people talking about it, that it looks like he says, the parents didn't have anything to do with it.
Now baloney.
I can't believe him doing a 180 after what he said yesterday about it not adding up.
But then again, I mean, to keep them on the panel, he could be playing along. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I did think it was funny that the behavioral panel picked up on Don blinking. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember what they were asking him at this time, but I was looking because I was watching it again. And man, his eyes were blinking like windshield wipers in a hailstorm. I've never seen anybody blink like that. I was like, is he going to sprain his eyelids?
Yeah, it was just very beyond unnatural. But I
It
think
looked like something, like in soap operas where they're like trying to act all enamored and they flash their lashes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, he
There
was,
ain't, there ain't no way Dr. Phil believes their asses. No way possible. After, just from what we watched yesterday, there ain't no way he's going to spin a complete 180. I mean, if he comes back and says, I don't think Don and Candace had anything to do with it, I question that man's sanity.
well, he's had other parents on the show of missing children that were guilty as sin, and he played the same game with them,
Right.
and then he's explained later, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie said, these two dough heads are going down. Uh-huh. So we have all
Yeah.
these new people. We have a lot of new people in chat, guys. So hit that sub button, ring the bell so you get notified. We have a lot. I've been watching, Facebook, like all the people that just saw Dr. Phil yesterday. We knew this would happen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the general consensus from the new people, but now remind you, they haven't been following since June 15th. They haven't seen the WJHL interview, the very first one. They don't know that Don has been saying things like he's going to see her in the resurrection. They don't know about the essay and what he said about his daughter. So they're just saying that this poor man can't admit to himself that Candace is a murderer. They're feeling sorry for him.
Right.
They're feeling sorry for him. And I mean, of course, they want justice for Summer, and Candace arrested today.
Yeah. And I think that blinking, I think the question was, do you think your wife had anything to do with this? I think that's what the blinking area there.
Yep, you're right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
My notes are kind of scribbly, so I'm sitting there going, I can't remember what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even need to see him blink. And I know he's guilty, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He could blink, he could roll on the floor, he could take a shit, he could do whatever. Doesn't change my attitude about him.
Well,
At
like
all.
he was blinking like a crazy person. Then they ask him a question about Summer, and he starts talking about a Facebook group that doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what he's doing? He's doing what he always does. He's switching trying to take control and change the narrative because he's
Yeah.
dodging the real questions. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. It's deflection.
Yeah, that's
He
all
does
it
a
is.
lot. You can't get a straight answer out of him. If
Nope.
you ask, he just starts talking about something else. And it's like, well, did he hear what they asked him? Huh.
It's like he wasn't even listening to the questions. He's already preparing what he's about to say without even answering their question, because he is going to keep the narrative out there about the online bullies and about the abduction. And the people, it's okay. When I was so annoyed with Ronnie Lawson, when he did that interview and he was talking about social media and stuff like that, I was just like, man, get real. But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, well, the ones that have been leading the social media is Don.
Right. I think that's what he was talking about. I think
Yeah,
he
me
was
too.
talking
Now that
about.
I'm looking back.
I think he was talking about all those wonderful guest appearances everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I'm going to stick with my theory. I haven't been wrong yet about this, but I say there's an arrest soon. I say they get arrested. I said yesterday within 2 weeks.
All right, guys, write it
That's
down. Kevin says within 2
yeah.
weeks.
Write it down.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be the day after Thanksgiving. We'll jump in and do a live and see who owes Kevin money.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Or
Well,
yeah, or who I owe money. Because I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. I think that, listen, this cannot continue. This is such a shit show now with the Dr. Phil saga added onto it. How many chapters is in this shit show? You know, almost every day a new chapter. And this can't continue on. It can't because it's not the truth. It's going to crumble. It has to.
yeah, I think so. I'm hoping for the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because I don't want him to enjoy himself one more day.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know how big of a feast that Candace puts on, but like you said, I mean, Summer doesn't get to enjoy Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas,
Yeah, well, they probably have the ramen noodles and R&R.
Let me
Oh my
answer this real
goodness.
quick. It says, do you feel the same that an arrest is imminent here? Oh, yeah, I think someone's going to get arrested. I really, honestly, I didn't think that it would last till July 1st. It was so obvious. I'm like, any day they're going to pick one of them up. Any day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really do. Yeah, I think there's going to be an arrest. I just don't know how much longer it's going to take. But I've been noticing a lot of people are going crazy with this Cornbread Mafia thing, and they think maybe
Oh, come
Candace
on.
gave her to them. If you watch it again and you see, when she lost her mind, and she started that face, I couldn't just that, when the lips started drooping and she's wiping her nose and tearing off the wires and, oh, I want to go home. I don't think it was so much Cornbread Mafia that triggered her. I just think she had been in the hot seat long enough. I just.
Here's a thought, though.
Okay.
What, they tried to put out this thing about the Mexican mafia. Remember the phone call, all of this, and the fake crying. Okay.
Right.
And I don't care if they said nobody fakes crying if they have snot running down their nose. I think she could even do that.
They don't know her. They don't know all the stuff we've seen for months. You know what I mean? You're exactly right.
I think she was looking for something to have a fit about, and when she heard that, it was like, go for the gold.
Why? You know what? Next, next Donnie is going to say, "Yep, Summer is with Jimmy Hoffa." Just ridiculous. These people, listen, they're all covering for each other one way or another. Every one of them's got dirt on each other. Every one of them. If you think about it, Candace has never. Every kid has been taken away from her ever in her life. Dawn's daughter got SA'd on her birthday. I wonder who did that. Dawn's been to all three of these people are lowlifes. They're scums, and they're all guilty, and they're involved some way or another with Summer's disappearance, and they're all got dirt on each other. Every one of them. Mark my words.
Well, that's why nobody's talking, because it goes down to the three on the hill.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
There was an interesting theory, again, by someone new to the case. They had just heard about it yesterday. So they're doing kind of like a deep dive, kind of like we all did in the beginning, trying to figure out all the, moving parts, and we know there's tons of them. And they said that they think something happened at the swimming hole. I don't think this person had put together that, H was there or anything about Allie. That they think with Candace and her rock finding hobby, like she knows where all the caves and everything are, that Candace and Candace put Summer somewhere, went home and developed a story for Dawn, because they're going off of what Dr. Phil said. Why would he tell them to call 911? He doesn't want the police around. I was like, that's one I've never heard.
Well,
Yeah,
know,
and
you
go ahead, big guys.
You go back to the thing where the sheriff had Frank Light on a horse looking around. See, what people don't know is the Light family, they know where all the caves are and stuff. And so he did have him looking in areas like that. But there's a 35 minutes missing in Don's timeline, time enough that he could have met them somewhere for summer.
Yeah, because for someone that was at work all day, he was a blinking fool. Smokey, I see you backstage, but you are muted. Let me see.
And next thing.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, so now go ahead, because you're from that area. Don't tell us where.
I am. I'm generally from the Tri-Cities, like about 40 minutes from the Wells. And I was born here. I've lived here like 30 of my 34 years. The Cornbread Mafia is not a thing. I'm so exasperated with this. On the show, the interviewer says, that's what we call it where I'm from. Dr. Phil says it's a colloquial term. There was a group called the Cornbread Mafia. You can Google me. I encourage everyone to. There's a Wikipedia page. There's a book about it. But it was disbanded in like 1987 to 1990.
Yeah.
It's a way long time ago. Do I think it's possible?
Yeah, it's just another bullshit story is all it is.
Not a real thing. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Absolutely not a real thing. I guess it's possible that like some group of village idiots are calling themselves that, who like deal meth, but it's not like a real organized crime organization. That is just not reality. It was a colloquial term that they used. I think just meaning drug dealers in the area is what they were asking her about. That's my take on it. But if you go back and look through and try to Google Cornbread Mafia, you will not see any articles on such a group, any of our local news affiliates before the last 12 to 24 hours. It's not a thing.
Yeah, I was confused why they even brought that up, why they even threw that wrench in there. I just thought that was bizarre. But then again, I'm not the one trained in that. But I think they're reading way too much into her breaking down about that, because we know she can cry on command.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
We know what we've heard her acting skills. Okay. And also she couldn't handle sitting there anymore. She couldn't handle being in the hot seat anymore. It didn't seem to bother Don in the least. And I can't wait to see how he handles it today.
Well, because I'm sure he thought, what the hell is this guy talking about? You know what I mean? I have no idea why she broke down there. I'm kind of with you. I don't know if she was just kind of done with the interview, or if maybe she took that to mean drug dealers in general. I have no idea, but that is not an organized crime group that is well known in this area. It is just not.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe they had it like it was the Dixie Mafia, which was at one time a real thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a real thing. And the Cornbread Mafia was too at one point. There's a really great biographical book about it that I read about 10 years ago. I mean, it was kind of an interesting thing, but they weren't They called themselves that. All they did was grow pot. They've all been in jail many years. In fact, Obama gave some of them
clemency. I read that this morning. That's where I remember, because I was like, where have I heard this before? And I remember that now.
It's just, I think people just picked up that term because it was in the news at one point, and they just kind of generalize it to crime for this area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. And we know Candace. We know that she can turn on the tears. But remember the interview with WJHL when they were sitting there talking about Summer, being gone. She didn't shed one tear, but she does when she feels backed in a corner. She will lose it. She will lose her shit every time if she feels like she said interrogated or I don't want to talk about this anymore. There's nothing else to remember. What? You're there to help Summer.
Yeah, and she said, "This isn't helping me."
Yep, I'm going to play that clip right now, and we're going to talk about that. So hold on.
And let's not forget, Don used the red Subaru because it was just sitting there. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with that. And I'll jump down before you show this clip. I just wanted to make that explicitly clear, like, it's not a real thing. Currently in East Tennessee, the Cornbread Mafia is not a real thing. And a lot of people seem to be running with it. But I will let you guys get back to your show. And thank you so much for having me up. I love your show, and I love Kevin, and I love to listen to What Big Eyes too.
Well,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Smokey.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know that, because that helps a lot.
And good luck with your squirrel problem. I can relate. It's the chipmunks and the moles that get in my garden that bother me more. But the squirrels get in my bird feeder, so that's annoying too. So good luck with that.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Smokey.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Well, that was some good info.
Yeah, we all know. It's just another bullcrap story. That's all it is. Just like now it's a blue minivan or something.
Yeah,
Even Don looked at her like, what in the hell did you say that?
I know. That was so funny. The expression on his face, like, where did you pull that up
Yeah,
from?
I loved it, man. It caught Don totally off guard.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't have any sound, so I had to get out and come back in. All right. So I'm going to play this real quick. Hold on. And then we're going to talk about this because I just cannot believe when, Don's sitting there saying, hey, they're trying to help. They're trying to help. Why he put them in that position, I will never know. And she freaks. They're not helping me. All right. So hold on.
Because she is a freak, in my opinion.
I'm not going to I can't do this. So let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out with me. Let's do it. They might. There's nothing more to remember. We did see some. I'm not going to I can't do this. So let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out with me. Let's do it. They might. There's nothing more to remember. We did see some.
What is
Nothing
going
more to
on?
remember.
You know what? In my opinion, you are never, after this Dr. Phil airing, you are never going to hear from Candace again. Nobody's going to. Don's going to, there's no way that he's going to let her say another damn word.
Oh, I don't think she'll ever talk to anybody ever
Nope.
again. But let's
Nope.
talk about that. They're just trying to help. She's asked another question. There's nothing more to remember. How do you know? Sometimes it's the smallest detail that breaks a case wide open.
Yeah,
Yep.
something that you discounted, that, and then all of a sudden it clicks. Well, I know what's clicking in their heads, and it's not trying to remember a small detail. It's trying to cover up a big deal.
Yeah, trying to get everyone to think that they had nothing to do with it. That's the goal. That's why they're doing this. I don't know how he talked her into doing it. It's more apparent to me now than it ever has been that she's definitely guilty. Excuse me, hang on. Gotta move this. But to sit there, you're there for your daughter, to get exposure for your daughter, to get help for your daughter. And she says, it's not helping me. So who
Yep.
are you there to help, Candace?
Brooks,
Yourself or
you were just
Summer?
you were just saying something that's very important, that the answer could be in a small detail that we don't even. That is why I said yesterday, that's why I think TBI is let them talk and do whatever they want to do, because somewhere in their bull crap, there's something that TBI is, some statement is going to mean a lot to TBI, but maybe nothing to us.
Yep.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Well, she just flat out told him there's nothing more to remember. I would be going over that day, every minute of every day, trying to think of something I forgot, something maybe I wasn't paying attention to. But she says it's not helping me.
Yep. And okay, let's take that statement there. It's not helping me. Most people say, well, what a selfish thing to say. And that's true. It is. But how can she say it's not helping her? If people keep looking, that's consciousness of guilt.
Exactly. It's not helping me.
Well, that's just a narcissistic statement, actually, too. And Candace, have you ever noticed how they avoid the serious questions?
Mm-hmm.
Like the ones that have to have a yes or no answer. And they won't answer. Don, well, I don't know. I can't remember. Anything that can, they dodge the important shit all the time.
Yeah, it's either I can't remember, deflection, starting to answer another question that wasn't even asked,
Yep.
and then Candace resorts to having a meltdown.
Mm-hmm. I can't take this anymore. So what does she do? She flees. That is such a sign of guilt. In my eyes, anyway.
Well, it's sure not pleading for someone to help her find her daughter.
Not at all. They never have and they never will. They're
I
going to
haven't
go to
heard.
jail.
I haven't heard one
Nope.
pleading.
Really, even with this Dr. Phil show, we've been talking about this for over 5 months. Nothing has changed. It's still all the same.
Exactly.
Sorry, guys, I lost sound again. It's so weird. I think I'm going to mess with Restream this weekend. Maybe that'll work better because it was messing up on Kevin this morning. Yeah, I don't know what in the world. Carlos says, where's Steve Wilkos when you need him? Again, guys, don't forget to hit that sub button. We have a lot of new people in here. We really don't have any rules. We look at everyone's opinion, everyone's theory. We just have to be respectful about it.
I would love to see them on the Steve Wilkos show.
I know. It's
I
like, where's
guarantee he'd be throwing their chairs.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I would love for Geraldo to come out of retirement and tackle this. So back to the Cornbread Mafia. Don used the word kidnapped. He changed that from abducted. All right. Wouldn't there be a ransom? Wouldn't somebody, they don't want a kid. Wouldn't somebody want money?
Yeah, with kidnapping, a ransom is demanded.
Yeah.
That's not kidnapping.
Mhm.
You know, all of a sudden it's kidnapped, and someone snuck up here and took her off.
No. All right. So then later in the day, I'm just going to read this. There's no reason to put it up on the screen. Hang on. They were on. Dawn was on WJHL.
Yeah. She was kidnapped, all right, by her own parents. They're going to get caught. You know, we've been saying, Brooks, when you lost sound, I was telling Big Eyes that nothing has changed, really. Even the Dr. Phil show. We've been talking about this for almost 5 months, and everything is still the same. Really.
Okay. Hang on. Nameless says, in the JS interview with the news, there was a blue minivan with ladder racks driving by. Oh, wow. If that isn't perfect. And what's this? Did Jackie Dobbs die? I've seen several comments in here, people saying they heard yesterday he died.
Oh, really?
We got to find that out.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything to Summer.
No.
Hell.
He was just a weird guy, that's all.
Yeah.
I think he was having trouble with his wife, and they were divorcing, and he was looking for a place where he could go and just get away.
Yeah, and he figured it out real quick. He didn't want to be next to the damn wells.
Yeah, he figured out that wasn't where he wanted to be.
Yep. So I'm going to read this article, and then I want to talk about this comment on the screen. All right. This is from WJHL. More legal troubles. Wasn't the plan for missing Hawkins County 5-year-old Summer Wells' parents after they returned home from Hollywood after filming for Dr. Phil. Not long after the return, Summer's father, Don Wells, was arrested on suspicion for driving under the influence. He was then arrested again for violating his probation on Monday. In his first on-camera interview since going to Los Angeles and being charged, Wells told News Channel 11 that he knows he's no media darling. I don't think he thinks that for a minute, but anyway. He says, I have lost control. I have done stupid things, and for that I apologize. Wells said he has struggled emotionally since the disappearance of his daughter. Well, that goes without saying, whether you're guilty or innocent.
I would too if I threw my daughter away like trash.
You think of them going through torture or whatever they may be going through. It's such a hard thing to think about and deal with, and all you can do is pray to God that he'll watch over them. It's just an impossible thing to deal with. God's the only hope, and you have to deal with those sorts of things. Then he goes on to say, we've had problems with threats and violence and all kinds of things like that, and it's been dangerous. One guy said he was going to come see me with his 9mm gun, and since then, I've been able to get a hold of him and talk to him. We actually, thank goodness, we had lunch together, we worked things out. Help me.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to lunch.
I know who that is.
Let's go to lunch.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, let's go have lunch. I'll buy. You were only going to take a 9mm to my house and use it on me. Let's have lunch.
What a cockamamie story.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he said it's been very dangerous for the people I work for everybody involved with this. It's been dangerous not only for us, but for everybody we're involved with. I was relieved, actually, when they took our boys out of the house. The welfare ain't going to want them there. And I don't want them there. Nobody would in their right mind.
Hell no, they don't want them there. They never wanted any of their kids around. You know, they're loving it. In my opinion.
So the news went on to ask how he is so certain that Summer has been abducted. And he says, well, the reason that I know is because I know my wife. And I know what kind of emotions and the heartbreak that she's been going through. And the way everything happened when she called me. Okay, well, he forgets that we all know that she already lost 2 children to the state of Wisconsin. She's She has a history of abusing children. Wilkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation say they have found no evidence Summer was abducted. Well, there you have it.
See, that's it.
So, I mean, quit saying it. Just hush. They have already said. All right. So, again, we have some new people in here. And remember, we have an open panel, an open chat. Everybody has their opinions, but we have to keep it respectful. You know, we don't need to attack who's up here talking. We don't need to attack people in chat. It just doesn't make for good conversation or discussion when we do that. It's just not fun, if you know what I mean.
They can attack me.
That's who they're attacking. Is your smoke detector going off, Kevin?
Yeah, sorry about that. I've been sitting here and that damn thing is, I finally got up there and took the freaking battery out. I'm going to put a new battery in it. Yeah, it was driving me insane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm putting a new battery in it right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
our smoke detectors are connected to the electricity too. When the battery goes out, if you take the battery out, it still keeps beeping. You got to put another battery in it. It's crazy.
And it's such an annoying sound. I mean, yeah, obviously we need them, but gosh, you know?
I know. It's like that gets your attention to change the doggone battery.
Oh, it does.
Kind of like a squirrel. Cheep, cheep, cheep.
I'm gonna look at this comment real quick. See, I don't know what they mean exactly. I don't know what they mean exactly. The new report says no sign of abduction and no sign of foul play. Well, how can they say no sign of foul play unless they're leaning towards an accident? And I took down a comment before addressing it. I'm sorry. If you look in the Dr. Phil interview where like Don is, putting all his cooler and stuff, he wasn't putting it in the the Subaru. He's putting it into the back of a truck.
Yeah.
So that's confusing. Obviously, that's not live footage from that day by any means. But I'm like, that's odd that he didn't recreate that day and use the Subaru,
Mm-hmm.
That's odd.
Yeah, see, that was part of that filming they did for the Dr. Phil show, and he was showing what all he did. Well, that's not what he did. He was in the Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
That Subaru, by him taking that Subaru that day, that's why I'm still sticking with Don's involved. There's no way in hell that he just drove the car that day because it was just sitting there and they were paying $600 a month. Bullshit. He needed that car. In my opinion.
Well, did you hear what we were talking about? In the Dr. Phil interview where he's recreating June 15th, when he got the call, that she was gone, and he was like showing how he was putting his stuff, loading his stuff up. He wasn't using the Subaru. He wasn't recreating the scene with the Subaru. He had a work truck.
I know. I noticed that. That's a good observation. I don't know what the hell that's all about.
More confusion.
He wants
people to quit talking about the Subaru.
Right. He wants people to think he wants people to think he took the truck. So now there we go. He's taking control of the narrative again. It's constant. I'm sticking with my observations.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to play a clip of Candace real quick, and we're going to discuss that. Hang on. Hope I don't get kicked out again. Got that up.
You do anything with Summer? No. Do you know what happened to Summer? No. Do you know who took Summer? No. Anybody in your family involved for this? Not that I'm aware of, no. And people are always going to point their fingers to people closest to somebody. It's just the nature of how it goes. What do you got to say to those people? Oh, but they're wrong. Why are they wrong? Because I had nothing to do with this.
Play it one more time.
You do anything to Summer? No. You know what happened to Summer? No. Do you know who took Summer? No. Anybody in your family involved with this? Not that I'm aware of, no. And people are always going to point their fingers to people closest to somebody. It's just the nature of how it goes. What do you got to say to those people? Oh, but they're wrong. Why are they wrong? Because I had nothing to do with this.
Well, I don't see how she could be asked those questions and have absolutely no inflection in her voice. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, but that last one, it was like she could barely squeak out the answer. No.
It was like she had to force herself. It was like a no.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it went downhill, and she just lost it. Did you notice that, Kevin?
Yes, I did. I noticed that. Here's another thing I was just thinking of. Let me ask you a question. You guys, do you think if Candace, it all depends on how they get arrested, but do you think Candace, if she knows she's going to be arrested, do you think that she will, how do I want to say this? Do you think that Candace would harm herself not to go to prison?
No.
Oh, no, I wasn't expecting her to say, sure did. This is exactly what
No.
Not expecting that. I just can't believe she could be just like the look on her face was almost like a scolded child. You know,
I
how
don't
she
think
dropping her head. No, because
I don't think she'll go. I think somebody's going to end up killing themselves over this. You watch what I say. She is very, very fragile right now, Candace, in my opinion. And Don has to control the narrative. I just can't see Candace knowing that if she's going to be arrested, her going willingly, or Don. I've said this from day one. Something bad could really happen to one of them or both of them.
Well, here's a thought. Here's a thought. What if he does something to her and make it look like suicide and said she confessed to him that she did it and killed herself?
Exactly.
Bada bing, it's solved, right?
Yep. I just look for something tragic to happen. It all depends on how and when they get arrested. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that if they get arrested, that TBI, they're not even going to have an inclination that they're about to go to jail. It just all depends on how it goes down. But I agree with you, Big. I think that is definitely a possibility of Don or Candace. I'm going to say either one of them pulling something like that off. So it would not surprise me. Is all I'm saying.
Yep.
It could very well happen because these people are out there. You know what I mean? They're capable of anything.
Right. And let's look at what she said. I didn't have nothing to do with this. What is this? What is this? You can't even say your daughter's name. You can't even say, I have nothing to do with Summer's disappearance. You can't even say that. I have nothing to do with this.
What if it's all Don and Don is the narcissist? Candace is being controlled. What if it's all Don and none of it's Candace? Have you thought about that?
Yeah,
I've tried to put that together a million times, and I don't see how. She was with her all day long. And she cannot hold a conversation. And I listen to all theories, all opinions. I just don't see how it's plausible.
But was Don really at work all day? That's the question. That would change this whole, if you think about it. Because in my opinion, I do not believe Don was at work all day. Not a chance.
Well, they haven't cleared him, but I don't think he did it all by himself because she would not. For one, she would have already given him up.
Right. I was just saying, wouldn't that be
No way.
something?
She doesn't want to go through all this. Her life is hell.
Yep.
Her life is hell. You know what I mean?
I
But
wouldn't
I'm
want
going
to
back
be
to
there.
what I was saying. Back to what I was saying. When she says, I had nothing to do with this. I was like, this? You have not laid eyes on your daughter since June 15th, and all you can say is this?
Yeah.
So how do you think Summer died?
Well, that's not, I don't even know. But what I'm talking about is, how can she, summarize it like that? I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
I just thought it's just so disrespectful.
Or you know what? The other thing that was really interesting, remember in the first interview, Candace goes, I wouldn't let anything happen to her as long as I was around. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did that mean? Right, that right there, that very first interview, that about floored me when she said that. Nothing would happen if I was around.
Mm-hmm.
That is
my jaw dropped when she said, I have nothing to do with this. That's why I played the clip. And she
right.
said, no. And then she had to squeeze another no out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just think that is too telling, because if she has nothing to do with it, there would not be any, I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with this. No way. We've seen her behaviors over the last 5 months.
And remember, yes.
Also, Dr. Phil doesn't know that she has changed her story. He doesn't know that.
And remember yesterday we talked about, don't think that one of them wouldn't throw each other under the bus if they had the chance.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I think they both have dirt on each other.
Exactly. That's what's keeping
Yep.
whoever from telling that
Yep.
knows really what happened.
Yep. That's exactly why no one's saying nothing, because both of them, all three of them, Granny included, they all know what happened, and they know where Summer is. And in my opinion, they know that Summer can't be found.
So I noticed a lot of people, because like I said, there's a lot more activity talking about Summer today because of the Dr. Phil show. So, a lot of people are bringing up an accident. An accident could have happened.
Oh, we've been
Okay,
there.
so if it was an accident, I would think she'd be truly shaken, not saying things like, no. And I had nothing to do with this. Because, an accident that your child died accidentally, you'd be scarred.
Yeah.
You would have more emotion than what she had to sit there and muster up. Because let me tell you, she was crying, yes, but this was all out of anger. She was angry.
We've been talking about an accident on month 1 and 2. We've been down that road about if it was an accident. And I can safely say, I don't think it was any accident.
Nope. But later this afternoon, I don't know what time it comes on in different markets. Part 2 is going to be on, and that's when he's actually talking to them, and they're doing their interview. Lisa said, angry Dawn made her go public. No, I think she was getting angry with the questions she was being asked.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how Dawn got her to do it anyway. I have no idea, because this interview and what the behavioral panel is saying is totally different than the first one. Totally different. Totally.
Exactly. It makes you kind of wonder.
Well, and I've just never understood the whole accident theory, because you would call 911. You'd have nothing to hide. Who's hiding? Who's hiding? Someone is hiding something, and they wouldn't hide an accident.
Yeah, it's obvious they're hiding stuff by their interviews.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious, in my opinion. I just don't see how a person can possibly even think this is an abduction. Is beyond me. There is no way.
Yep, this was my favorite part. Faith said trigger after trigger after trigger and no tears. That was exactly right. But when they made her mad, she turned on the waterworks.
Mm-hmm.
Snotty nose and all. She turned it on. Then she starts pulling off the wires, pulling out her jean jacket. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Hell yeah, she wants to go home, sit up on that hill and get drunk and high all day.
Mm-hmm.
So she can live with herself for what they did to their kid and their kids. That's why.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
why they
forget the
drink and
boys.
drug.
Don't forget the boys.
Yeah. Let's not forget every kid has been taken away from her. A lot of people don't know that. And one of them has brain damage from a bat.
Moonshine Girl says, how do you know she wouldn't hide an accident? I don't know what mother would hide an accident. You would want to get help as soon as possible. It makes no sense to me to go through all of this if it was clearly an accident.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know the woman. I don't
think this shit show would have gone on this long if it was an accident.
No.
Yeah, there's been cases of parents, clearly the child has passed and the parent just begs the paramedics to keep on trying.
Uh-huh.
They don't give up hope. They just please keep trying. Yeah. No, I don't think it was an accident. It might have been an accidental killing. And,
right, I agree.
When you kill someone in rage, then you can't say that was an accident. That's what I'm thinking. She has a hair trigger temper.
Oh, she was mad. That's what I'm seeing. And like I said, that's just my opinion. Everybody has their opinion, and we don't dispute that. We listen to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
We discuss. We don't know. We're not going to know for quite a while. And it's going to be things we never even thought of. It's just my opinion that if it was an accident, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
It could be Candace accidentally hurt her. I've heard about the dry drowning. I've heard about a lot of things. But we know that we're coming up on 5 months, and this little girl is gone. And like Dr. Phil says, she couldn't just vaporize, evaporate into thin air. She has to be somewhere. And all you can say is, I had nothing to do with this. As if we're talking about returning a sweater to Target.
Yeah, and that's called distancing and dehumanization because you can't handle the real truth.
Right, and I'm not changing my opinion just because of the Dr. Phil show. We sat back for 5 months basically and dissected this thing day after day after day, and eventually you're going to hit home. In my opinion, I think everyone's been pretty much spot on. The same. There's a little bit different theories, but it still comes down to all 3 of them are guilty in one way or another.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the fact is that Summer needs to be found, no matter whether she's passed or alive.
Right.
She deserves justice.
Yep. That's the only reason why we're here. Otherwise, I wouldn't waste my time on these shit show stars.
No, it's about that little baby girl.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm here, really. It sure ain't for fortune and fame.
No.
I'll starve to death before that happens.
Yes, taking the Subaru on the day Summer vanished is not a coincidence. No, Chris McDonough honed in on that. Yeah, this just did not go the way they thought it was going to go. And it just looks very, very, very bad for Candace. No, I'm not defending Don. And there's a lot of people that don't know about the essay, what he said about his daughter. They don't know all this stuff. And that's, they're new, and that's fine. Trust me. They're going to want to read everything that's been out there for almost 5 months. And it's going to be pretty eye-opening. I couldn't imagine if I was just now getting into it.
Yeah, it's a lot to learn. There's a lot of backstory there.
But the main thing is Summer. Where is Summer? Where is she? What happened June 15th? What happened? That's it. So on that note, I'm going to start winding this down. Great chat. All of you new people, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit the subscribe button. And we have a Discord that everybody has fun in. So if you want to join it, check the About tab and send an email and we'll get you a link. We will be back here probably this afternoon to talk about Dr. Phil Part 2. If not, we will definitely be back on Monday morning. Thank you so much. We have the best chat on YouTube and can't wait to see you guys in Discord and back here later. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Brooks and Kevin, and we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, What Day, guys, as always. Bye-bye. Thanks, mods. I know it was a crazy day. Have a good one.